Hi there everybody, this is David and welcome to New RPG News. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about today, and I'm sorry that there was no news last week. I was out of town, I was on vacation, I was on a Caribbean cruise for like 9-something days, I think, and there might not be a news next week either, because it's going to be my birthday, and I'm going to Puerto Vallarta for my birthday, so I don't know. I'm going to bring my computer, because every single time I go out of town, there's always something, so you never, ever know. Anyway, we do have news this week, and I'm covering last week's news too, so here we go. Oh, and that's totally worth a sub as you come and you join a party and you level on up with me, because after your sub, your like, and your brand new hype, it really does help me out a ton. Thank you. So really from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for everything. Really. So let's get started. Yuji Horii, Dragon Quest live stream planned for May 27th to announce the next game. Woohoo! My birthday! I'm gonna be 44 on May 24th, and just 3 days later, I get my birthday present, which is Dragon Quest Day from Yuji Horii. So woo freaking who? I made a full video about this, and basically he's saying that, you know, this is the 40th anniversary of Dragon Quest. We are going to be doing a live stream. And then he talks about the live stream and what's going to be entailed. But I thought that this was super funny. That Square Enix didn't actually announce it. It says, well, Square has yet to officially announce a live stream for Dragon Quest Series 40th anniversary. And then they go on, Horii is somewhat notorious for sharing information before it's meant to be publicly announced. If I was a game designer like Yuji Horii, I would do the exact same thing. I swear to God, I would do the exact same thing. I'd be like, he wants to keep a secret, let's just go. So basically, he's going on and he's saying, I think that we'll be able to make an announcement about the next game, which is Dragon Quest 12. So he's going to be talking about Dragon Quest 12 plus other things. He says we'll also have various other things besides the next game, so please look forward to it. The last time that there was an announcement like this, I actually streamed that announcement, and it was really freaking fun. It was a lot of fun. It said he had a similar event for the 35th anniversary in 2021, where he announced Dragon Quest Keshi Keshi, Dragon Quest X Online version 6, Dragon Quest X Offline, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake, Dragon Quest Treasures, and Dragon Quest 12 The Flames of Fate. So he announced a lot of stuff last time for the 35th anniversary, and this time should not be any different. We're probably going to be getting a lot of stuff. Also, at the 35th anniversary, because I remember this, I was live streaming it with my audience, and they were like talking. I was actually like in a chat room, and I was thinking to myself, oh my God, shut up. Like, I want to listen to hear what he's trying to say. And whenever he went on about the Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake, he also said, oh, and I think they were going to be doing Dragon Quest 1 and 2, and then they like blew all these whistles and bells at him and like, shut up, you know, and then people kind of like forgot that he said that, but I never forgot. I never forgot that he said it, and I kept on bringing it up every single time that people would be like, oh, it's just Dragon Quest 3, and I would say, no, but it's also Dragon Quest 1 and 2, because Yuji Horii said so. And guess what happened? We got Dragon Quest 1 and 2, because Yuji Horii said so, because I cannot wait for Yuji Horii, now even 5 years older, to go on this live stream and just say whatever the hell he wants. It's gonna be fan-fricking-tastic. Happy birthday to me. I came to y'all a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about these Chrono Trigger figures that were up for sale over in Japan, but we couldn't actually import them from the official site that they were selling them on in Japan. We couldn't import them into America. However, now they are available for purchase on PlayAsia. They're available on Video Games Plus for purchase as well, and they are free shipping. Free shipping. I know. So this is in Canadian, because it's a Canadian website, for $90 Canadian, and I did the little thingamajigger, and that is $65.43 of dollars. So $65 plus free shipping per formism if you did want to get the Chrono 1, same dealio with Marl right here. Hopefully, we will be getting the Frog, the Robo, the Isla, the Magus, the Luca, all those other ones. I went ahead and I ordered these myself because I just can't not have them. I am a Capcom creator. I've been a creator for many months now, actually. You know, talking about things like Monster Hunter Stories and all that kind of good stuff. And I got like a little hoodie and some other little doodads for being a Capcom creator. And every time that I can, every time that I can, I talk to them about Breath of Fire. When are we getting Breath of Fire? When's Breath of Fire coming back? I'm doing my part. I'm doing everything I can, people. I promise you, behind the scenes, I'm doing whatever I can. Anyway, they literally out of the blue, they sent me this watch. It's a Mega Man Retro Play watch. Came with this little box. Here is the watch right here. And then I made a short on this, and I was like, this is like the coolest thing ever, this little watch right here. Short of me playing the actual Mega Man 2 on this. And I'm like, this is like so freaking neat. It's hard though. If you watch that short that I did, you will see it is hard. Mega Man like auto runs, and then if you like tap it, he'll shoot. But if you like tap and hold, then he'll jump. But you like, I don't know, the stages are differently designed or whatever, and it's hard. It's hard. So if you want to get this watch, it is $80 on GameStop only. It is a GameStop exclusive. I will include links to this. Oh, here we go. Switch 2, Switch, and Nintendo Switch online price increases have been announced, with a $50 price increase for the Nintendo Switch 2. It's going to go from $450 up to $500 in the West. So yeah, it does this whole little price increase thingamajigger for each region. It looks like it's going up $50 in Canada and $30 over, or 30 euros, I suppose, over in Europe. This will not go into effect until September the 1st. So you still have time. If you're on the fence about buying a Switch 2, now would be the time, especially because they are running a limited time bundly thingamajigger for the Switch 2. So right now, while it's still cheaper, they're doing a choose your own game limited time bundle for where you can get the Switch 2 and you can get Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza. It says banana. Donkey Kong Banana. It's Bonanza. Or Pokemon Pokopia. So yeah, it says that this is going to be available starting in early June for $500. So if you want to, do this and take advantage of that, I will let you know whenever this does finally go live. Donkey Kong Banana. Granblue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok pre-orders are now available, and new playable characters Fraux and Fidel have been revealed. I know, I'm terrible. Okay, so it looks like if you get Granblue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok, the standard edition, that would be $60. There's a special edition for $80, including all sorts of other little doodads. However, if you already have the base game and you already bought Relink and you just want the Endless Ragnarok stuff, the upgrade kit will be $30. If you want the special edition stuff upgrade kit, $55. It says pre-orders on PS5, PS4, and PC include immediate access to the base Granblue Fantasy Relink game and Granblue Fantasy Relink downloadable content collection where applicable. This new trailer reveals playable characters Fraux and Fidel, as well as the new foe, the World. The Summons and the Conflicts trailer introduces summons and conflict systems. So, if you want to learn more about this game, I did like a full review thing highlighting everything that I saw in the beta. I got like early access to the game to play it and check it out and all that kind of good stuff. So if you want to know more about this game, be sure to watch that video. It just came out yesterday. But wait, there's more! Same company. Cygames trademarks Lost Order 9 years after end of closed beta test. So this game had a closed beta test, was announced and all that kind of good stuff back in 2016 as a real-time tactical game. Then we heard nothing about it for 9 years. So of course everybody's like, oh, it's canceled. So it says the lack of new information has fueled speculation that the game may have been canceled, but the newly filed trademark could indicate that development is ongoing. They have an update. The company contacted them and said that development on Lost Order was put on hold, only to later issue a correction and an apology stating that the game was in fact still in development. So it has still been in development. Trails in the Sky's second chapter, we have some new battle systems going on here. There's a new system called the Brave Rush system. It says it introduces a new wide-range, high-damage Brave Rush attacks, using 2 Brave Gauge points in quick battle to pair your active character with a party member and unleash a devastating combo strike. The Brave Rush mechanic joins a lineup of normal attacks, jump attacks, dodges, and character-specific crafts to further expand your tactical options in battle. However, whenever you're fighting the various enforcers, like Walter over here, it says an advanced version of Rage Boost that can only be used by the enforcers of Ouroboros. When activated, a character-specific animation plays and the appearance of the battlefield actually changes. Since the boost state lasts longer than the standard Rage Boost, the battle difficulty increases dramatically. So that will make the enforcer battles a little bit harder. It says some powerful enemies and bosses can enter a Rage Boost state. While active, they gain unavoidable attacks, halved delay, and they can even steal AT bonuses. Interesting. This thing's coming out for the PS5, Switch, Switch 2, and PC via Steam, September 17th worldwide, and I cannot wait. You'll love to see it. Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero and Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure are coming to the PS5 and Switch 2 this fall, available separately digitally or together as a physical collection. Hell yeah! So this one's coming out by Nice America. So the remakes for Sky and Sky 2 are being done by Gung Ho, and it looks like they're probably going to do Sky 3 next. Then they're probably going to move on to do Zero and Azure, since they were originally done kind of in the same sort of graphical style as Sky 1 through 3, so it just makes sense to redo Zero and Azure. So I think that Nice is like, you know what, we kind of got to get ahead of Gung Ho with their remakes, and we can push out this dual collection on the newer systems and try to get some sort of sales by this before it's completely cannibalized by the Zero and Azure remakes. That's just my take on the situation. I don't know what the hell's going on behind the scenes, but that's just kind of what it seems like to me. It makes good business sense. Let's see. It says that the PS5 and Switch 2 versions will feature a variety of performance enhancements, including 4K resolution, 120 frames per second, and mouse input support on the Switch 2. So here it is for sale. That's the PS5 version. This is the Switch 2 version. One thing to note, Switch 2 version is a game key card. Okay, this is kind of weird, and it like makes me happy at one point, but it also kind of pisses me off at another point. Console Archives Master of Monsters Disciples of Gaia launches on May the 14th. This was originally released in 1997. This is coming out for the PS5 and Switch 2 for $12. So if you look at the trailer above me, you might see why I'm a little bit pissed off. That's the English trailer. English. Do y'all see English? Because I certainly don't see English. How are they going to release a game that has so much text in it, but keep the Japanese text in it in an English release? Like, that to me is like a total bait and switch. Imagine buying this, thinking that it's in English, and then realizing after you spent the $12 that it's in Japanese. I'd be pissed. I'd be so freaking pissed. Anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know, in case you didn't realize, it's in Japanese, even though it's being released in an English territory, but it's still in Japanese. It's a war simulation game where Eros, a boy granted power from the heavens, embarks on a journey with the goal of defeating Gaia. With the help of a master who can freely control monster armies, summon monsters from another world, defeat your enemies, and raise your own monsters. The Console Archive series is designed to bring classic games originally released on home consoles to modern gaming platforming, but apparently not in English. But we have Octopath Traveler at home! This, Octopath Traveler at home. I actually think it's cutesy wootsy batootsies, but hey, whatever. 2.5D story-driven turn-based RPG Echoes of the Flame, announced for the PC, aka Octopath Traveler. Wish Octopath Traveler. It's going to launch for the PC via Steam in November to December with Japanese language support, and will add English and simplified Chinese language support in 2027. In a world where the cycle of souls exists, flame wardens are sworn to protect it. Haku, a flame warden from a town on the western edge, journeys towards the heart of the land, the sacred peak of Coral, to fulfill his destiny, to fulfill his duty, joined by his demi-human friends Kaji and Mikoto, an enigmatic former mafia member. From a town at the eastern edge, Ren, another flame warden, sets out for the sacred peak of Coral, joined by his childhood friend Maruka and a mysterious elder named Rakan. Two journeys unfolding through alternating perspectives. What awaits them at Journey's End? Well, you'll find out within 10 to 15 hours or so. Yeah, not very long one, even though it's two different perspectives here. Then, if you look at it, I mean, not only can you just tell from the art style, like, my god, this is so Octopath Traveler, like, I can't even deal with it, but also, it literally sells shields that dictate the flow of battle. Yeah, so there's shield points that you have to wear down. Like, it's really like Octopath Traveler in everything but name. There will be an easy mode also planned for players who, want the easy mode as well. The Necromancer's Tale for the PS5, Xbox, and Switch 2 launches on June the 24th. This is already available on the PC. It says it's a story-rich gothic RPG. Master the rituals of the ancient spellbook. Raise an undead army to march against your enemies. Commune with the realm of the dead and struggle with your descent into madness. Progress through secrecy, diplomacy, blackmail, coercion, and seduction until ready to reveal yourself. The Necromancer's Tale is a story-rich game with 400,000 words of handwritten narrative and lore, in which you converse with 180 NPC characters, each with their own hand-drawn portrait art. We have not used generative AI in the game. Like, I'm glad that they haven't used generative AI in the game. I just think it's sad that nowadays you literally have to make that announcement. You have to say it's handwritten dialogue. You have to say that it's hand-drawn portrait art. You then have to put in a separate disclaimer. No generative AI. Like, how sad is that? That you have to do that in today's day and age, because AI is just so prevalent everywhere. You can't get away with it. Hell, you can't even send an email without, the little email thing saying, "Hey, do you want help writing?" Like, it's insane. No, you know what? Gmail, I can write my own freaking email. Like, give me a break. The game, okay, I'm off my soapbox now. The game involves tactical turn-based combats between you, your allies, and your undead minions versus a range of enemies, natural and supernatural. Harness a range of weapons, rituals, and battle spells to defeat your foes. The Necromancer's Tale is set in an alternate history kingdom near Venice and the Adriatic Sea in 1733. This is a time at the cusp of rational thought and superstition, science and magic. The world is dark and dangerous. Courtly intrigue collides with black magic even as chemistry emerges from alchemy. Playtime 25 to 50 hours. Harvest Moon Echoes of Terradia launches on September the 24th. Note: they have not yet released any trailers or gameplay footage for this game, although it's launching in September the 24th. So I'm playing a trailer for Winds of Anthos Harvest Moon, which came out. Don't you think it's kind of weird how this game is coming out in just a couple of months and there's no gameplay footage and there's no trailers to it? Harvest Moon, how the mighty have fallen. Anyway, there is physical edition pre-orders that are available for the PS5, Switch, or Switch 2. Note, Switch 2 is a real game. It's not a game keycard. Hey, they'll all be available physically and digitally. It has an Amazon exclusive edition that includes a free wolf plush, not a plus. But yeah, it's kind of nice that it is not a game keycard, but it's also $10 more. $60 on the Switch 2, $50 on the PS5 and the Switch. Raised in the quiet comfort of Bloomfield Village, your life is about to change forever. A mysterious mist creeps from the Forest of Echoes, wild beasts roam under the cover of night, and strange disasters threaten villages across the land. Explore a vast, living landscape filled with hidden caves, remote islands, and lively towns. Build your farm, forge friendships, and even find love as you shape your destiny in Terradia. Travel alongside your animals, each with special abilities that help you leap across terrain, break through obstacles, and uncover valuable treasures. It even says that it has massive open-world exploration, and it has all this other stuff in it, but what it doesn't have is any sort of gameplay footage. Like, we have screenshots and artwork and stuff. That is a cute little wolf, I must say. Cute. But, like, at the same time, where's the freaking trailer? How very interesting. Pocket Pair trademarks Pow World Online filed the trademark in the United States and South Korea, not in Japan, because the big N would hit them with the big ban hammer, I'm sure. It says, while Pocket Pair itself has yet to share any official information regarding Pow World Online, the trademark could be connected to the game's version 1.0 release, which is due out in 2026. It could simply serve as a branding for the game's existing multiplayer mode, similar to Grand Theft Auto Online. And a mobile Power World game is also under development by Krafton, but it already has an official title of Power World Mobile. So we don't know what this is exactly, but it also says that it already supports online multiplayer. So to me, it sounds like a completely different MMO sort of thing, but I guess we just kind of have to wait and see. Edge of Memories gameplay overview trailer, a deep dive into the gameplay of the upcoming action RPG. It says that you explore Avarice, a continent of breathtaking landscapes slowly succumbing to the corrosion. To save what remains, young soul whisperer Aline and her allies journey across the continent, desperately seeking a cure. Kind of reminds me of like the Grand Stream Saga, where they had these floating continents and they had to like slice off the land in order to keep them floating. Like, so maybe that's kind of what it's talking about here. On the back of your swift Nekaru, you quickly gallop across the land, climb up walls, and reach distant platforms. Your allies will be essential as well. Unleash their elemental skills to destroy obstacles blocking your path, and have Yosaurus hack into ancient technology to solve cryptic puzzles and unlock secret areas. Chain devastating combos of light and heavy attacks and time your dodges perfectly to overwhelm your foes. The corrosion runs through Aline's veins, a curse, but also a weapon. Feed her rage until you can unleash its fury and transform into a terrifying black beast. This is coming out for the PS5, Xbox, and PC in 2026. Steins Gate Reboot launches on August the 20th for the PS5, Xbox, Switch 2, PS4, Switch, and PC, supporting English, Japanese, and Chinese language options. It says, while the company is yet to announce a Western release date, the Japanese version's inclusion of the English language support suggests that the Western version could launch on the very same day. It looks like it's only digital, at least as far as we know. It's only digital here in the West. However, Japan is getting all sorts of different, they're getting a standard, a limited, an ultra limited, and a deluxe edition. Good lord. Has updated visuals, refined user interfaces, and a revitalized story. Steins Gate follows a ragtag group of tech-savvy students led by Rintaro Okabe, whose latest invention accidentally gains the ability to send messages to the past, unleashing the power of history to alter itself. Characters, artwork, and the user interface have been completely refreshed in this reboot. While an original new scenario expands the world's story, Akihabara has been recreated with stunning realism and depth, drawing you deeper than ever into its streets and secrets. With brand new scenarios and optimized systems, both newcomers and longtime fans can experience Steins Gates like never before, a true reboot of the legendary story of time and fate. This is really cool. We learned a couple of years back that Atari was really like trying to get back into the gaming space and trying to kind of revitalize their company and looking to buy up older IPs and just kind of like trying to really like get back into the game. And it looks like they have been doing that, as they acquired the rights to the first 5 Wizardry games, not the last 3, only the first 5. There are 2 different updates to this because the companies are like warring with each other. And I don't care about their little bitch fight or whatever, but like all I care about is good games. That's all I care about. But like the updates that's going on in this, like update number 1, update number 2, like holy crap, people, like deal with it. Good lord. So anyway, like fight behind the scenes, not in public. So it says that Atari has acquired the rights to the first 5 Wizardry games. Like it goes on about like how Dracom still owns these games and these rights, but Atari owns these rights, and it's just like, good lord. Well, all I really care about though is it says that Atari plans to bring back the original Wizardry, the Lilgamen Saga games, which set the cornerstone for the Japanese RPG genre, through expanded digital and physical distribution and the creation of remasters, collections, and new releases. In addition to game publishing, merchandise, card, board games, books, and comics, TV, and film projects are also planned as a part of a long-term plan to build an entertainment franchise based around the original games. That's a lot. Like, wow, they're going to be doing a lot of stuff with Wizardry. Honestly, Wizardry is something that I never really got into at all. I remember that there was an NES game for it. It was very expensive, and I didn't really want it. It didn't look bright and cheery and nice to me. It looked like a dungeon crawler stuff, which I wasn't really into at the time. I've gotten into them more as I've gotten older with like Etrian Odyssey. That was really the one that got me into dungeon crawlers, Etrian Odyssey, I've got to say. I really enjoyed that. And since then, I've kind of gone back into other games, but I never really got into the Wizardry games myself. So I would love to see where these games originated from. I would love to be able to play them now, because I can't imagine going back and playing like the original Wizardry on the NES. Like, my God. It was hard back then. I can't imagine me doing it nowadays. Like, good lord. I'm sure I could, but man. But yeah, I would love to like really be able to get into these games nowadays. So that's it for this week's news. Thank you so much for watching. So sorry that there was no news last week. Hopefully I'll be able to put out news next week. It all depends on everything going on. You know, I have to take a vacation too every once in a while. I know, I can't just be chained to my desk at all times. But here we are. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you guys for everything, really. And always have a good day.